As you're writing code in Python, there are a lot of opportunities for you to use various expressions, and some of these expressions might have a number of operators and a number of factors. For example, let's say that you had an expression that looked something like this: 5 times 25 plus 14 divided by 2. And you might look at an expression like that. Maybe you didn't code it yourself, maybe somebody else did, and you're looking at some code and you see that and you say, is that 5 times the sum of 25 plus 14 with the result of that divided by 2? Or is it 5 times 25 plus the result of 14 divided by 2? Or some other combination? The answer to this question lies in the subject of operator precedence. When there are a number of different operators in one expression, which operations get evaluated first? And the results of that operation would then be used in operating on the other operators. So in this case, I happen to know, because I looked it up, that multiplication and division have a higher precedence than addition and subtraction. And so I know that the first thing that's going to happen is 5 times 25 will be evaluated, and then 14 divided by 2 will be evaluated, and those two results will be added together, giving us the answer of 132, because 5 times 25 is 125, and 14 divided by 2 is 7. 125 plus 7 is 132. If we want a different result, obviously we could use parentheses. We could say 5 times, and put in parentheses here, 25 plus 14 divided by 2, and we can get that different result. I strongly suggest when you're writing your own code that you use the parentheses to explicitly say what it is that you mean to say, that you don't write bare expressions with a lot of different operators, like the first one here in this example, that you just don't do that. If you're reading other people's code and you see that and you want to know what it is that they meant, or at least what the result is that they got, then you can refer to the operator precedence chart, and I've provided one handy in your exercise files. Let's take a look at what operator precedence looks like in Python. There's no need for you to memorize this, but it's good for you to become at least familiar with its existence and know where to find it when you need to look it up. In this chart, you'll see there's 3 columns: associativity, operators, and description. Associativity means which way is it evaluated if you have several of these things from this column. So for example, if you have several Boolean OR operators, they'll be evaluated left to right. If you have several comparison operators, they'll be evaluated right to left. More often than not, they're left to right in Python. The designers of Python have done a really good job of trying to make this stuff consistent as they possibly can. And where it's not consistent, it's because it makes better sense that way. Starting at the top of the list, we have lambda, and then we have or, and not. These are the Boolean or, and not. Then we have all of the comparison operators lumped together in one priority, and those are evaluated right to left. And then continuing, there's the bitwise operators, or, exclusive or, and. Then there's the bitwise shift operators, and then we have addition and subtraction, multiplication, division, and remainder, the unary operators, the exponent operator, and then bundled together and right to left again, slices, function calls, and attribute references. And then finally, left to right, the binding operator, which is the parentheses when it's not meant to be a tuple, and then tuple, lists, and dictionaries. So this is operator precedence in Python. Again, it's much better for you to not rely on this, to use parentheses to say exactly what it is that you mean to say when you're writing complex expressions. When you're reading other people's code that have not been that kind to you, it's good to know that this table exists and where to find it so that you can read that code and know exactly how it gets evaluated.